Hi everyone, we're going to talk through some ideas that we hope will help you with the Professional Practice 3 individual presentation, which, as you know, is due after Easter. So what we're going to do, we've both got the criteria here, and we're going to just talk you through what we're looking for in each bit, and we're going to bounce some questions we think we've heard from you as we go through this as well, so that we hope you'll get some answers to things that we think you've been asking about. Okay, where should we start?
Well, should we start off with that? What it's physically going to look like?
Okay.
So, I'm wondering, all these criteria along the top, are they going to be presented in a PowerPoint? Are they going to be presented on bits of paper? Can they be in the video? Are they going to be verbally presented? So where would the reference list come? Things like that.
Yeah, that's a good. So actually, what I had forgotten to say is how long this presentation is going to be. So we've allocated a 20-minute slot for everyone, but that includes our questions and your responses. So we'd really like to leave a good 5, 6, 7 minutes for that. So in terms of your planning, I'd really like you to think about planning a presentation that lasts between sort of 10 and 12 minutes, and that allows you to finish, compose yourself, and us to ask up to sort of 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes worth of questions. Everyone will get at least 5 minutes worth of Q&A. So that will bring us up to our whole 20 minutes. So if you plan much more than 12 minutes, we will stop you, certainly by 13 minutes, because we must have time for questions. So what does it look like? Really, probably in my head, even though I don't want to limit you to this, it probably seems neat if it's a PowerPoint or a Prezi with video embedded and all your information embedded. So it's a standalone presentation that, although you're there to talk us through it and add things to it, so not everything you say needs to be on it. You're there to talk us through, add stuff, that you wouldn't just submit a video on its own. It would be nice if it had your opening slides or windows on Prezi would say who you are, what the title is. It would end with references like it normally does, but pretty much anything in between those two could be anything you like, as long, with a view to hitting this criteria.
If somebody's good with technology and they can put the whole thing into a video with the reference slides on the video.
Yeah, it is an interesting. Well, it might be, except we don't want people to turn up and just press go on a presentation and then just stand there.
Yeah.
So I feel it's a little bit more like we want some interaction between you, person presenting, using resources to help you tell your story.
So that's really the quality of supporting evidence.
Yeah, the video and the presentation are the supporting evidence. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Sorry, I said the PowerPoint or the Prezi.
Yeah. I forgot what I was going to say.
Well, the video, you probably wanted to say, how long does the video need to be? We've said try to be fair to everyone so that this doesn't become a whole video presentation. We've said the maximum, it's in the module guide, the maximum amount of video you can have is 5 minutes, which kind of links to the previous point. We are expecting a presentation, a component of which is up to 5 minutes of video, but no more than 5 minutes of video.
I've remembered what I was going to say. Okay, so just moving on to the description of the reflective process and the depth and coherence of the reflective analysis. I think something really important is that the journey that you're talking about is not just the session that you recorded on a Friday morning. So that might be part of your evidence, but what we're really interested in is how that fits into you as a coach in the bigger picture. And how you contextualise that, it is up to you, whether that's you in your coaching across this year on Friday mornings, or whether that's you as a football coach on a Sunday morning, or you coaching the first team, or whether that's you coaching in another context. That's for you to explain, but try and use the evidence that you've got, maybe from a Friday morning, and put it into the context of you as a coach, in the bigger picture. I think it's important.
Yeah. And what we hope you pick out is something that's especially meaningful to you, that's worth you inquiring about, and I think that will come through. So as Paul was saying, we don't just want you to review anything that moves or anything you can pick up about one sort of contrived coaching session on a Friday. That isn't what we want at all. What we do want you to do, and it may occur in a session on Friday, you might see it might be a behaviour you have. It might be something from coaching you do outside, sort of quite naturally, in something you already work in, with people with whom you've already got a good relationship. But it might look something like this, that the incident, I don't know if you can see this, but the incident may occur here. And what we're interested in seeing in the presentation, you can see that, Paul, just like a timeline there. What we're quite keen to see is your incident occurred here, and what's happened over
Hold
time.
it up. Hold it up, Abbe.
So what's happened over time?
Okay.
You're here now in the presentation, you're presenting. Can you tell us what's happened? Don't just tell us lots about this, because that wouldn't really show a kind of a reflective journey with lots of questions, maybe self-questioning, maybe going to look up a topic and coming back. So that hopefully kind of captures, this is quite a dynamic process. Can I just go back to the first criteria? It says rationale for the focus of the reflective analysis. Persuade us that this thing you're going to look at is really worth looking at. So tell us why. So this thing cropped up, it's really important to me because it's valuable for coaches because smashing, and that is going to do that. Then the description of the reflective process. Tell us how, so going back to this diagram again, how did you move from here to here? What processes, reflective processes, chatting with your friends, thinking on your own, using a model, so formal or informal methods, problems maybe even, issues, some direct feedback perhaps. But what provoked you, what prompted you to think in the way you did? And if you want to try and get some meta-analysis or show meta-awareness, are you aware of how you were thinking about it, and how has your thinking about that issue, incident perhaps changed? That would be fabulous to see.
Final point from me, we're always asking you at this level to be critical, and I think try and avoid being too descriptive, and the key word there is asking yourself why. So for example, if you, let's say you pull out that, for example, your questioning skills is something that you wanted to focus on, why? Okay, why is that? Where's the evidence? Why is that important? Why is questioning important anyway? Okay, is the literature that you can bring in to support that critique? Why have you decided to address that issue in the way that you've decided to address it? So it comes back to one of those reflective models. Don't neglect the evaluation stage where you're really, that's where the depth is. Okay, don't just tell us what happened and what you're going to do about it, tell us why.
I think really then, and use evidence. And because this is a journey over time, remember you could film yourself again trying to improve in the area you've identified you may need to improve on, or trying to repeat again or challenge yourself in a different way to show the good practice you showed in something. So try and stretch yourself in that way. And we know this is a challenging task. Please feel free to come back to us with any questions. We hope this has been a little bit useful. Please look about how to write reflectively as well. Any questions, please come and see us.
Bye.